Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I hope that everything's great in your world. I'm enjoying a nice cup of tea this morning. I've got my puka or paka. It's a charmante. It's cassis, black currant, blackberries, purple berries, and drinking it in my little mug that I adore. But I hope that you got a drink or something to relax you. I just want you to always come to this 60 and Me conversations, just knowing that you can just sit down and just like you're safe here. You're amongst women that are just like you. We're all on the same journey and asking similar questions. And I just hope that gives you a sense of, grounding. It certainly gives it to me. And I really do appreciate knowing that you're out there and that you're, I'm not alone in some of the things I think about. So we have a really interesting blogger. Her name's Alexandra Mosca, and she joined us recently and is a fascinating story, and I'll tell you more about her in a minute. But she wrote an article about something that has been on my mind a lot. Marcia Smalley wrote an article too a little while ago about the difference between 50 and 60, the big difference. And I think that this is a carry on from that, which is things that happen when you're 60 that didn't really occur to you when you were 50. Just that continuing journey of self-actualization, self-realization, acceptance, and growth in your 60s. And what Alexandra talks about is this big word, this A word, which is ambition. What happens to it when we get to be 60? So what is ambition? It's the desire to do something, right? We want to achieve something. It requires determination and hard work, and we have to put all our effort into achieving that goal. It's that where people will say, I'm an ambitious person. I want to achieve these things. And I think that at some point in our lives, we all said that. We had an ambition to become a doctor or become a teacher, to become a writer, or maybe the more abstract, I wanted to become a movie star or a singer. We all had an ambition, and when we were young, and I don't even know where that ends, but some point, we thought that was like the most important thing in our lives. We would stay up 12, 14, 18 hours a day working because we're ambitious. We wanted to achieve that goal. And Dr. Seuss says, Alexandra reminds us, the places we can go. And it's true, we had this sense that you could go anywhere, do anything. It was all possible. And so I think I'm an ambitious person. I have been an ambitious person most of my life, and I am still ambitious. I have things I want to achieve, and so does Alexandra. I've gone many places and tried different things. I've never actually counted up the number of jobs I had, but it must be at least 10. I mean, the last one the second to last one with Microsoft was about 18 years. And then I worked for Siemens for a couple of years. But there are other jobs, and I've been places, no problem with that. I wanted to make a difference, like Alexandra, I had specific things. I wanted to be a teacher at one point. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a communicator, which I've really moved myself into. I have actually actualized many of my ambitions. She had actually had a different path, and you're going to smile when you hear what she does. She is a funeral director, mortician. That's what she does. And it's really interesting because she said, when she started this, I think it was in the 70s, it was very unusual for women to do this. A funeral director tended to be a man, and it was not a career that was open to women. But now it is. It's much more accepting now. But she said her other ambitions took a back seat. I don't quite know the story of how she ended up in that job, but every other ambition took a back seat. But then she realized as she got older that she really wanted to be a writer. This is what her ambition really had been. So through various self-examination we all have to go through, and some sacrifices, she decided to write a book called Grave Undertakings. Very interesting book. And she was so proud that it became successful because it inspired other women to get into this business of funeral director that they maybe felt was not appropriate for them in the past. So I thought that was a really, really cool transition for her. And she said, when she was a little girl, she had an ambition to be a writer, and that was her goal. So she found a way. So I just would like to pause here and just ask you, just stop and think for a second. When you were a little girl, think back. Did you want to be the little girl who, what did you want to be? What was your career goal? What was your ambition? Really, it'd be interesting. You don't have to write it down if you don't want to, but it would be fun to have that conversation. But if you just think about it and name it, that will actually help us when we go through this rest of this conversation. Because think about your 20-year-old self. She was excited about the future. She wanted to do all these amazing things, and then life happened. It's like it just didn't work out the way we thought. It never, ever will. I think there's probably a rare person who could sit here today and say, my life turned out exactly the way I wanted, or the way I planned, and the way I wanted. And, maybe you were totally thrilled and happy with how it did turn out, but it wasn't the way that you thought it would be. So I think that's a really important thing. And then in this article by Alexandras, she talks about people who did things that we wouldn't have expected either at their age or, that it's never too late to be ambitious about achieving a goal. I've actually thought a lot about this because I think it's not that I've slowed down in my ambition, my different goals, but I definitely have got a different pace with it. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't really want, to have $1 million house, or I want a boat, or, I don't really want those big things anymore. I really do want some other values and experiences and memories, and like being with my grandson, both my grandchildren. I really love them. I would give anything in the world, to spend time with them above everything else. And so in that sense, I'm ambitious, I guess, to be a grandmother, that's a way of looking at it. I'm answering my own questions here. But I don't have an ambition to be, a movie star or a famous person or anything. So anyway, she talks about Connie Maynard of Nashville, who decided to return to modeling at the age of 55. And Lynn Slater, who we interviewed actually here on 60andMe, who was given a modeling contract at the age of 64. Maybe that was always her ambition, but she's now achieved it. Latent life achievers like Susan Boyle, who got onto that, America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent, and blew them away and is now a megastar, a singer. She talks about, Colonel Sanders. I think he started Kentucky Fried Chicken when he was in his 70s or even later. So the point here she's making is that ambition has no age limitation, no expiry date. You can go ahead and it doesn't wane as we get older. Yeah, true, we have less time maybe to achieve our goals, which in a way is a gift. It makes us more focused on what, doing what we want. I've got a few crazy dreams that I want to achieve, and, I'm just kind of hoping I have time to do it all. And I guess it's the same with many of you. We all have complicated stories, but I'd love to know yours. I really would like to think, did your life turn out the way you thought it would? Have you achieved all your goals, or do you have some more? Are you ambitious? Are you an ambitious person? What's left for you to do? Please leave your comments in the section below. I think I'm going to post a similar video to this, a little bit different, for our Patreon community, because I love that community because we can get deeper with the conversation, and I really think that's valuable. So if you're interested in that, it's patreon.com/60andme. And of course, this is a video that will appear on YouTube and on our website too. So think about it and tell us, what have you achieved all your goals? Did life work out the way you planned? Look forward to hearing from you, everybody. Have a super day. Really do well. Go out and do something good for yourself. And we'll talk again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.